Honey, did you sign me up for that gaming tournament?
Well, I signed us both up.
Oh, don't be silly. Women can't play games.
Oh, but why not?
Well, why don't you have a seat on my lap and I'll explain everything to you.
All right.
See, dear, your thumbs just aren't built for the endurance because the buttons are just so heavy.
Oh, how foolish of me.
Not to worry, dear. It was an honest mistake. I'm just glad you didn't break a nail.
Today, we're here to talk about how gross girls are. I mean, when they're not spreading their cooties everywhere and clouding male judgment with their feminine wiles, they're probably off nagging some poor defenseless guy about the vertical orientation of a nearby toilet seat. At least that's what the International Esports Federation seems to think when they elected to hold a male-only gaming tournament this past month. You didn't mishear me. Male only. No girls allowed. Apparently, when the little rascals grew up, they decided to get into the esports business, except for Alfalfa, the Darla-loving traitor. Look, no matter how misogynistic you are, I think we can all agree that a woman's presence tends to brighten things up. You know what? Especially if you're a misogynistic asshole, because who else are you gonna yell stuff like, "Hey, sugar tits, why don't you come sit on my joystick?" at? When asked about their decision to form the gaming equivalent of the He-Man Woman Haters Club, the IESF had this to say. The decision to divide male and female competitions was made in accordance with international sports authorities as part of our effort to promote esports as a legitimate sport. Yes, legitimate sport. You know, those things that women have spent decades fighting to get into and be taken seriously at, because we all know that unless 50% of the population is being left out of the fun, it can't be considered legitimate. They also expressed concern over what manner of conflict would arise if a male competitor were to lose to a female one. That's easy. We do the same thing we always do. Shame the loser for getting his ass kicked by a girl. It's not that complicated. Listen, I wrestled in high school, and I am not ashamed to admit that I got beat by a girl once. Sure, at the time, my 16-year-old psyche was humiliated and couldn't handle it, but she didn't win because she was a girl or that I took it easy on her. She won because she was a better wrestler than I was. Maybe, instead of making lame excuses for being a shitty video game player and excluding a sizable chunk of the competition, you could instead focus on improving your skills and not playing Hearthstone like some kind of Whoa. Oops. I almost said something sexist there.
Welcome, everybody, to the flagship episode of Open NAT. I am your host, Will Handford, and with me today is my co-host, Ronja Monto.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, that's excellent. I'm glad to
That
hear
is
it.
good. Sorry for that huge pause in the middle there.
Yeah.
Wanted to make it as awkward as possible.
Like I said in the previous podcast, awkward. But, you know, you'll get used to it.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, before we get started here, Ronja is on another podcast called Strings Attached, which you should totally go watch. But watch this one first. Listen to this one first, then go listen to hers.
Yes.
And like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Please stay and listen. She beats me when you're not here.
Yeah, I do. Terribly.
So I guess a little disclaimer before we start here. If at any point during the podcast you hear Ronja's mic just go completely silent, don't worry. It just means she passed out, because we are dealing with like a 6-hour time difference now.
Yeah, it's 1 a.m. where I am right now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, Ronja is broadcasting from England, or Finland. Damn it! I did that last time we talked too.
You did. Yes, I'm from Finland, not England.
I
Yes.
promise I know they're two different countries.
Okay, well done. That's okay. I forgive you.
I'm just gonna get off the plane and be like, "Hey, I'm hungry for fish and chips. But I thought it's colder here than I thought it would be. Do you guys still have those red phone boxes on the corners? I want to ride a double-decker bus. Let's go to a pub and drink a lukewarm beer. Do you guys still suck at soccer?"
Yeah, and the funny thing is that most Finns are really bad at English, so people will probably just stare at you and not understand a word you're saying.
Yeah, probably. I'm just some idiot incoherently babbling on a street corner.
Yes, some madman, some stupid foreigner.
Yes. But you speak English all right, so that's good.
Thank you very much.
For the sake of the podcast, among other things.
Yes.
All right. So, I guess we should start with introductions. And would you like to start, or did you pretty much cover it on your other podcast?
Well, I guess so, but maybe I should do it again for this podcast in case people haven't seen that, because maybe some people aren't as interested in all of our podcasts as.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Also, this one's just better. So
yeah, of course. That's why
people should totally
watching
listen to this one over the other one.
Yeah, obviously.
Just saying.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So, would you like to begin with the intro then?
Oh, yeah. What should I say? Should I just introduce myself?
Sure. Your name, your occupation, what you do for the Interesting NPCs mod, I guess, would be a good start.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Okay, yes, as well said earlier, my name is Ronja. I am from Finland, and I voice Alasia, Mithril, and Rosalind in the Interesting NPCs mod. I also do a lot of music for the mod, mainly harp playing and singing and such. And yes, that's what I do.
Okay. I promise I won't make you sing too much on the podcast.
Okay, that's good, because it's
only when there's dead air.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe you have to go to the bathroom halfway through. You don't know. Anything
Yeah,
could
then
happen.
I'll just sit here and sing to myself like a crazy person.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent.
All right, so I guess I'll start with, or go second by introducing myself. My name is Will Handford, and for the Interesting NPCs mod, I provide voice acting for a number of characters, including Skiel the Grey, Coralan the Shopkeeper, a couple of bit parts, and more recently, in the Aldmeri Prisoner quest, that I believe is still in beta right now, I voice Nair and the Steward. And Nair is a Khajiit, and I really love voicing Khajiits because they have this really cool accent to them.
Yes, you've been so
Air
productive.
of mystery and danger.
Yes, very much so. And lots of whiskers.
Yes, lots of those.
Yes.
Very ticklish.
Very much so.
Very much so. Okay, so I guess second disclaimer before we start here. Open NAT, this show, is a show about gaming news and controversy. So the fact that second topic of discussion exists, the controversy part, we will probably be covering some fairly divisive topics. Know that if we say anything that may offend you or that you disagree with, there's no reason to flame us because we have very little idea of what we're actually talking about.
Indeed. This is just, our opinions, and it doesn't reflect the rest of the 3D NPC crowd in any way. This is just the two of us.
Exactly. So, on to our first topic. Podcast commenters. They are so fucking stupid. I mean, like, every single one of them. This is a blanket statement to... I'm kidding. No, stop. Stop. Everybody stop.
He does that. Don't worry.
Okay, no, but for real, though, our first topic of conversation is, as covered in the intro, a gaming organization called the International Esports Federation, I believe, the IESF, this past month decided to hold a male-only gaming tournament, or at the very least, segregate male and female competitions from each other. Ronja, your thoughts on that?
Well, let's just say that it's fucking stupid to start with. Excuse me.
Oh, God, I just splashed scotch in my eye.
I think I broke him.
Oh, it burns. Ow.
Are you alright?
Nope, continue talking.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just gonna go through the pain. Continue.
All right, yeah, this is what happens when we do this. Anyway, yes, well, obviously, it appears that this company is trying to be like a real sports team, and real sports, they always segregate women and men. But what these people seem to forget is that there is a reason why physical sports separate men and women. And, this reason isn't really present when it comes to video games, because
there are biological differences between the two genders.
Exactly.
Males are biologically just stronger than females. That's
generally
an immutable
so, yes.
fact. Actually, their official statement is, okay, the second one of their international standards. IESF is very close to get esports recognized as like true sports should be. Part of that effort is to comply with international sports regulations. For example, chess is also divided into male and female leagues, which is kind of stupid to begin with as well, so I don't know if they should use that as a model to go off of. But whatever.
It just comes across to me like this bunch of nerds trying really hard to become popular with the jocks, high school style.
Yeah, trying to keep pace.
Exactly. And it's lame. Really lame.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I mean, we pretty much covered it in the intro. I don't want to get too angry about the whole thing. Stay a
you
little
know,
out of the game.
I can't
Continue.
even bring myself to be angry because it's just such a ridiculous idea.
It is
It's
a little dumbfounding that
Yeah.
in 2014, like, the male psyche still needs to be protected from female competitors or whatnot. Because, like, the second statement that they had was they were, like, super worried about what kind of conflict would arise if a female player defeated a male one.
Oh, that's even worse. That's actually
Right?
pretty concerning, to be honest.
Like, what level of patheticness are you in where you have to protect yourself from being beaten up by a girl
Yeah.
by completely excluding them from the competition?
Exactly. I mean, your masculinity doesn't just vanish if you're beaten by a female. I mean, it's not... I mean, what exactly does that say about your perception of females if you're so afraid of being beaten?
Right. I mean, I don't know. It's dumbfounding, like you said. I just don't understand why they chose to do that. Well, I mean, they have a pretty long... The only topic that, or the only excuse that they could come up with that I even remotely agree with is the first statement that they made, which was promoting female players. Mm-hmm. We know that esports is largely dominated by male players, and female players are actually... Oh, sorry. We know that esports is largely I suck at reading. I never read in my free time, so I'm going to stumble over shit a lot.
It's alright. This will be edited anyway.
Sorry, listeners. It's okay. No, don't edit anything out. It's just so organic. I want to hear all of this.
Oh, okay.
A note to Chris. Promoting female players. We know that esports is largely dominated by male players, and female players are actually a portion of the overall player base. By hosting a female-only competition, we strive to promote female gaming on a global scale. Now, that I can sort of agree with, because gaming, especially esports, is definitely a male-dominated area.
I guess so, but you know...
Segregating the two competitions, it definitely gets out, like, the female players without being overshadowed by the existing male ones.
I guess so, but it still, creates another problem. If you, for example, compare it to, let's say, female soccer, as you call it. We call it football here in Superior Land. Then
It's soccer if America's better at it than you are.
all right, okay, soccer. Almost nobody watches, female soccer. So it's almost like the female group will just be completely ignored like this. Because
completely overshadowed by the male group.
Yeah.
And that's kind of true for pretty much all sports. Like, even back here in America, we had the WNBA for a little while. And it was popular for maybe about 2 weeks before everybody kind of forgot about it and started watching the NBA again.
Yeah.
So that's maybe the only point they have that I can possibly agree with is
Pretty
to, like,
much.
put the female players up on a pedestal where they won't be overshadowed.
I guess. But, it's also, it's a shame that you have to put one group on a pedestal for them to get a chance.
One giant, profound but over that statement is segregating the competitions to begin with.
Yeah.
Seems stupid.
It does.
And, okay, next topic of conversation. You mentioned that you wanted to bring up more, not so much just esports or, competitive gaming and gender issues, but more gender issues within gaming itself.
Sure, yes.
Okay, so touch on that. What would you like to start with?
Well, this topic is really broad, so,
Very true.
I'm not entirely sure where to begin.
Okay, well, let's start with, I guess, a more recent topic. I believe this was also covered on Non-Player Characters, hosted by Matthew Dixon and JT Decker, which you should also go listen after you're done listening to this one. It's also on the NPC Podcast Network.
Yeah.
Is during E3 this year, Ubisoft showed off Assassin's Creed Unity. And among the 4 playable characters that are in Assassin's Creed Unity, none of them were female.
Yep.
I mean... Okay, starting out, there's no written rule to state that if you have more than one playable character, one of them has to be female. Mm-hmm. But, like, why the fuck wasn't there a female character? It seems like a huge oversight on Ubisoft's part just to, not include one. I can't be the only one. Like, when they first showed off the 4 characters, I thought in my head, before even knowing anything about them, that, okay, one of them has to be female, right? Mm-hmm. I can't be the only person who thought that.
No, I had the same idea in my head when I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, where's the girl?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, recently they announced that there is a female character in the game, but she's not playable, and she's actually a Templar, which is the enemy faction in the game.
Oh, one female main character. Wow.
Just like throwing a bone
Yeah.
to people, I guess. I mean, it could work out. It could, having one female character in there. Apparently, her character is super close to the main character of the game.
Typical.
So it could be an interesting interaction as the story plays out.
It
but
could.
It almost seems like Ubisoft was just kind of attracting controversy by not including a playable female character out of 4 playable characters.
I guess so, but I have several problems with this whole situation. I mean, first off is that how could they be so blind? I mean, unless this was done on purpose, let's not include any females because we want controversy and we want more fame, which I doubt. It seems to me like they are just being really dumb about it. Like they didn't even realize there would be a problem.
Yeah, it does seem kind of, I don't know, ignorance maybe is not the right word, but I doubt they did this on purpose.
No,
I didn't think they chose to exclude a female character from the playable character roster.
Mm-hmm. Although they had an excuse for why they didn't include a female, didn't they?
Did they? And what would that be?
They said that they were planning to add a female character, but they didn't have the budget for it.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember that. They also said something about the actual work that would be involved adding a female character onto, like, the rig of a male character.
Exactly.
Like, the animation work would simply be too much. And, I mean, I'm an animator. I went to college to become an animator, so I kind of understand that to a certain degree. But, like, rigs and, motion is not too difficult to put a new model on top of. I mean, it is still pretty difficult. I'm not trying to say that. But I don't think it's as difficult as Ubisoft kind of made it sound like it was.
No, and you also have to consider, I mean, with that excuse, if you buy it, because I know several people are not buying it, you have to consider what exactly that means. I mean, what exactly are they saying by saying that they didn't want to add a female because it was too expensive and it was too much work?
Well, devil's advocate, I mean, they showed off something at E3, so at this point the game's pretty far along. And, I mean, adding a female character, it doesn't feel... It's certainly not impossible, but it does feel improbable, especially from a financial standpoint. I mean, they do have to think like a business.
Yeah, but my point is that what they are saying with this is that the male is always automatically default, and the female human is this nice little side thing that we will add if we can afford it.
Yeah,
and that's really stupid because we actually, we are half the population. If you haven't noticed,
I believe more than half at this point, right?
I think so.
You've crossed the 51 threshold, and we're down to 49.
Yeah.
So you have 2 percentiles over on us at this point.
I know, right? So, and even if you go with the logic that the gamer base is mostly male. Sure, but 40% of the gamer base is female. So, and 40% is a really huge number. I mean, if you are alienating 40% of your possible consumer base, that's a lot of money to lose.
True, that's at least 40% of the total money that you have to lose.
Yes, pretty much. I failed math in school.
I do math good.
Yes, good.
I do good. I went to art school. I don't do math good at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just a stupid woman, so I...
Yeah. I'm not gonna go on that statement any further.
Sorry.
Not on our first episode.
Okay, well, yeah, so that's my problem with it. They are basically showing their priorities here, and a woman is so low on the list that it wasn't even included in the game because, it's less important than anything else in the game.
Mm-hmm. And the idea that, male characters are the default has permeated itself through several other games, especially, I find, Western RPGs. Mm-hmm. Take Mass Effect, for instance. I mean, the default character is the male default shepherd model, especially in the box arts of the first and second games. Mm-hmm. And during the third game, when they announced that the female default shepherd, was going to be featured on the box, it was all of a sudden a huge deal, and people threw a shit fit over it.
Exactly.
Because there was a female featured as maybe possibly 50% of a default male character.
Exactly. And, this is a problem because a woman, as I said earlier, is not just something nice that exists on the sidelines. They are perfectly full functioning entire humans that exist in the world just like everybody else. It's absurd to me.
Right. And last time we spoke, you brought up a really interesting thing about box art nowadays as well, and how the default thing kind of permeates through that. So, explain.
Well, let's start, for example, with BioShock Infinite. You have played BioShock Infinite, haven't you?
I have, from start to finish. It is a magnificent game.
It is. It is one of my favorites ever. If you haven't played it, dear listener, you should go play it because it's fantastic. But,
immediately.
Yes. But
if you didn't get it on Steam Summer Sale this past summer, shame on you.
Shame on you. How dare you?
Also, I believe it was on a Humble Bundle a little while ago, so you literally have no excuse at this point to have not played BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, and there's 2 DLCs too, so you should get those 2.
I have not played the DLCs. I know!
How dare you? You must play them. They're excellent.
Okay.
Yes, where was I? Yes, I was going to ask you a question.
Okay.
So, tell me, who do you think is the main character of BioShock Infinite?
It would have to be Elizabeth. I would go ahead and say.
I would have to agree with you there, because, of course...
Maybe 50-50 Booker and Elizabeth, but, Booker plays more of, the player's eyes.
Exactly. He's like this new person who doesn't know anything about the world he's stepping in, and the player sees this world through his eyes. Mm-hmm. He seems more like a vessel for that, but of course he has a really important role as well, so let's not just scrub him under the rug. He's important, but I think it's mostly Elizabeth's story we are watching.
The actual character who drives the plot is Elizabeth.
And
I would maybe also argue Comstock to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But we're crossing into spoiler territory, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
But once again, you should have played this game by now, so we could totally spoil the game for you and be completely justified in doing so. Just know that.
Yeah, but we won't because we're nice.
Yes.
But anyway, if you look at the BioShock...
Ronja is nice. I would totally do it if she wasn't here.
Oh yeah, I know. But I have you under my thumb because I beat you when everybody's gone.
Yes.
Oh, now I feel bad.
I got bruises.
Now I lost my thread. Damn it, Will.
Sorry.
Yes, look at the box art. As you can see, there is no Elizabeth anywhere on the box art, but if you turn the box around, she's on the back of the cover. On the front, there's just Booker DeWitt standing, looking cool with a gun.
With sparks and flames,
yes.
Of course.
And apparently this was because they did a test on what would sell more, and people were more attracted to the cover with the gun dude on the front, even though the game has very little to do with a very dramatic-looking gun dude. So.
I mean, you literally don't even see his face in the game
exactly.
at all. So, people wouldn't even automatically know that that's Booker. It's kind of just the fact that it's a guy with a gun.
Yes, and that's so sad because, the star of the game is just banished back to the other side of the box.
And even while she's on the back of the box, she has, the atypical or typical damsel in distress look on her face. Huge puppy dog pouty eyes, the lips that are, kind of open, and you can only see her 2 front teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's seriously a look like, oh no.
But she's
it's my
cute,
period.
isn't she? Yeah.
Don't worry, doll. You won't be the only one bleeding tonight.
I shall get you some pads. Don't worry. Oh, but she's kind of cute, isn't she? It makes you want to protect her, even though she doesn't need protecting in the game.
I mean, yeah. Oh, that's another interesting thing. Wanting to protect female. Do you remember the whole shitstorm that happened when Tomb Raider first came out, the reboot?
Uh-huh.
You remember that?
I don't remember the controversy, but I remember the game.
Well, right. The game's pretty good. It's not a bad game.
I liked it.
And it does a good job to humanizing Laura and not making her a Barbie doll, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
But pre-release of the game, they showed off a trailer where a male character in the game actually he gets a little rapey with Laura, let's say that much.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene.
Yeah, and so people threw a hissy fit about that, understandably so. And the developers came back with, Laura's in this desperate situation, but they kind of punctuated on the fact that during this game, you should feel like you want to protect Laura. Like that's your main motivation for doing what you're doing as Lara Croft in the game.
Right. That's no, that's silly.
And I mean, regardless of where their mind was at, that's a very, even if they had the best intentions going into that press conference, that's an incredibly poorly worded phase in this day and age.
It is. I mean, I can sort of understand what they mean, but it was really badly worded, as you said. It just gives the completely wrong idea.
Mm-hmm.
As for the scene, I'm not actually sure if I agree with the controversy, because, I mean, it's fiction, and
I mean, yeah.
And the scene is not glamorizing rape. It's just portraying a situation that, can seem sexual in nature, and these things happen in real life, so I don't see any problem in depicting that in games. The problem happens when you start, glamorizing it. That's where it's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think it was... Well, I mean, a lot of people did have a problem with the scene. Let's get that out of the way, because, I mean, rape is a hugely touchy subject, especially on places like Gawker, where the story actually broke the first time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it does... Have you played? You didn't play Tomb Raider, right?
I did, yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Do you remember the scene, like what happens after that character gets a little fresh with Laura?
Yes.
He basically just kills her if you don't do the QuickTime event. That's it.
So he's not going to rape her. It just looks like it, and then he stabs her in the neck or something.
Yeah, something like that, which is pretty brutal and messed up in of its own right.
Yes.
But that wasn't the intention going in. It is kind of just portrayed that way.
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of why people got upset about it, because there was that ambiguity of what's going to happen next, because in the trailer they succeeded in the QuickTime event and the game continued.
Yes. But I'm actually kind of amused, because you know all the horrible ways that Lara can die in the game, right?
Yeah, you've seen that one where she gets the stake through the neck?
Oh my god, yes.
Oh god. Oh,
so
Jesus.
Brutal.
I've seen God of War and shit, and that one, holy crap.
The way she sort of grabs at it, while it's through her brain.
The few seconds of consciousness she has left, she struggles to get it off of her and then just dies. That's the worst.
Really horrible.
Of the ways that you can go out of this world, that's got to be one of the worst.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that was traumatizing. First time I saw it, I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh
Look away. I need an adult.
Exactly. I need an adult.
Mommy.
Yes, I think we went a bit off the topic here, didn't we?
Yeah, what the hell were we even talking about?
Cover art.
I'm getting old.
I had one more thing I wanted to bring up about the cover art, because I am ranty. Is that a word?
Continue.
Yes.
Sure. It's better than rapey, so let's go with ranty. That's the one I made up, and it's infinitely more horrible than what you just said, so continue.
It's all right. The other problem I saw with this cover art thing was The Last of Us. I haven't actually played the game, but apparently in the game there's...
Now it's my turn to gasp. What?
But
You haven't played Last of Us?
No, because I don't have any consoles. I'm poor.
Okay. No, okay.
I'm poor.
Don't cry. I'm trying to protect you, remember?
Oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, my female co-host.
I'll just stand here on the sidelines and cheer now and then and throw you healing items.
And I'll just lift weights over here and grill stuff.
Yeah, and you should always look really grumpy and sort of just grunt all your lines.
Of course. That's how we should all be talking.
Yes, anyway, The Last of Us. One of the characters in the game is this little girl called Ellie, and she's really cute, and you protect her and stuff. And
that one actually makes sense because she's 13. And
exactly, that's
40.
Okay, because children are children, and she's a child.
Also, it adds a really nice dynamic to the story arc between the characters, but I won't get into it because you haven't played it. So continue.
It's okay, because I watched the playthrough.
Oh, okay, so you cheated.
I cheated, yes. I'm so sad. I'm sorry, forgive me.
That's all right. Continue.
Naughty Dog had to put up a fight against their producer to put Ellie on the front cover because he was like, no, we can't put the girl on the front cover, it won't sell. But
they just wanted to put Joel on the front.
Yeah, but they fought and they did it, and it's absurd that they actually had to put up a fight.
There had to be a fight. Yeah.
Yes, it's why is this a problem? I don't understand, dudes. You listening? Would you? I mean, is there a problem for you if there's a girl on the front cover of a game that you're excited about? Does it like put you off?
Well, I mean, like, she has boobs, and like, I don't know. I haven't seen boobs.
She's
that
like
much.
11. She doesn't have boobs.
Oh, I gotta go. That was me speaking as one of you about the thing we're talking about.
Oh my god! Don't worry, listeners. We don't really think that you're this dumb.
Are you guys still there? Hello? Are you still?
Don't run.
Please come back.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm sorry.
yes, you should be sorry. You're a terrible person. That was the last of my rants about cover art. So,
yes.
You know.
Well, the next topic I wanted to bring up was kind of more along this lines. And actually, my brother and I were talking about this the other day, and he brought this up. It's so much, especially prevalent in more Japanese games, like the over-sexualization of female characters actually overshadows good game design and good gameplay elements, like all the time. Like, okay, perfect example. Have you ever seen anything about Dragon's Crown?
Were you saying something? I was distracted by boobs.
Oh, okay. Well, good
I'm joking.
news because I'm about to send you more. I'm not kidding. Hold on. Let me get a link here.
All right.
I just want to get your reaction to this in real time. Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
This will be interesting.
Indeed. Okay, copy. And let's go into chat. And paste. And send.
Click. Let's see. What is she doing?
Now, that is not fan art. That is official concept art for the game.
I don't even know.
I know, it's so hot, right?
Look at her eyes.
I mean, degrading and disrespectful. And how dare I'm going to take 10 minutes, 5 minutes over here by myself out of earshot to think about how disrespectful and degrading it is. Okay, bye.
Why does she have the stuff through her boobs? Isn't that really uncomfortable?
I'm not masturbating, I promise.
Okay, well, I know, I believe you. Not.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, that's really disturbing.
What were we talking about?
But I was just gonna comment. Look at her eyes. Look at the expression she has.
The
She's
pouty
like,
longingness of her eyes.
I'm so horny. Come take me and my big staff.
I highly recommend looking up the art for this game because it perfectly illustrates what I'm talking about. This game is actually really good as far as 2D RPGs are concerned. The gameplay is really nice. The environments are beautifully fleshed out and highly chromatic, and they're just a joy to look at. But the only thing anybody ever talks about with this game is that sorceress character.
That's such a shame, isn't it? Because they basically shot themselves in the foot by doing this, haven't they?
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't know if, I mean, the artist made a statement a little while ago about why he chose to do it this way. I can't remember what exactly he said, but it's not just this character. Like, all of the characters in the game, even the male characters, are grotesquely, like, over-sexualized to the point of ridiculous cartoonishness.
Yeah, I've seen that. Not in this game, but other games as well.
Yeah, this isn't the only game that does that. Take Dead or Alive, for example. Really good fighting game, awesome fighting mechanics by all stretches of the imagination, but boobs.
Boobs.
The average bust size on all the women in that game is like double D.
Yeah, it makes me think of Soul Calibur.
That's another good one. Pretty much any fighting game,
Yeah.
I think you could probably lump into that category.
I actually played some Soul Calibur today at a friend's house.
Oh, that was fun. Which one?
I think it's 3.
What happens in 3? Did I play 3? I played 3.
I don't know. I was just fighting some dudes.
Was that the
my
one
friend.
for, okay, not 360, but Xbox, GameCube.
PlayStation 3?
Oh, that was on PlayStation 3?
I think so.
Maybe I'm thinking of Soul Calibur 2. I might be thinking of Soul Calibur 2. Which one was the one that had Link in it?
This one did not have Link in it.
So it's probably 2. 2 was my favorite.
Okay. Well, the only thing I could think about is how can she jump around with her boobs like that? Doesn't that really hurt? And why does everybody wear high heels?
I mean, I can't speak to that because I'm a guy. I'm only an A cup, so I can't. Barely an A cup.
Well, I'm a B cup, and if I jump around without a sports bra, it hurts. There's ligaments there. They hurt when you snap them. It's like, it's not nice.
Does that happen a lot? Are you in the hospital constantly?
I wouldn't say it puts you in the hospital. It's just very uncomfortable, so. Oh,
that makes sense. It just gets sore.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Look, the costumes in that game were not designed to meant to be functional in any stretch of the imagination.
No.
I mean...
It's just like, panty shot, panty shot, panty shot.
Yeah, pretty much. Functionality was not in mind when the developers designed those characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just... goes back to my point. It overshadows good gameplay because Soul Calibur, by all extents, is a great game.
Yes, and it's very pretty.
Awesome fighting mechanics. It's really pretty. The effects are nice. You get a good nice sense of competition if anybody else is in the room playing with you, which is what all fighting games are supposed to do. But Ivy's boobs,
yes,
overshadow all of that.
Yes.
Whenever somebody brings up Soul Calibur.
That's pretty much the first thing I think about. When somebody says Soul Calibur, I think Ivy's boobs. Or her ass, mostly.
And like I said earlier, I find that this is most prevalent in Japanese games. But listen, there's plenty of over-sexualization in Western games, but there's over-sexualization for seemingly no reason in Japanese games.
But
Japan, they don't even try to justify it, or when they do a really terrible job.
Yeah, but Japan is pretty, late with the whole feminism thing.
I mean, well, when your culture has decades of sexual repression in it, it's got to manifest itself in some ways.
Yes,
I guess.
Exactly my thoughts.
Look no further than tentacle porn, for example. Don't go look up tentacle porn. I do not recommend tentacle porn to anybody.
I think most of the people listening to this have heard of tentacle porn.
Or have watched it in some way.
Yeah.
Whether seriously or in jest.
And the funny thing is, apparently tentacle porn was invented because, drawing a penis was seen as too obscene. So they just added some
Really?
tentacles.
Is that the reason for it?
And that's crazy, isn't it?
Huh. I mean, a little bit, considering that tentacle porn is infinitely more disturbing than seeing any penis near any woman. Japan comes up with the most raunchy, disgusting, messed up porn in the world.
Yeah.
But they have to censor the genitalia of it.
I know, it's so
And it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, Japan, I don't understand you.
You guys still with us?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey,
Anybody
Chris,
out there?
You have some explaining to do.
You should not have put us in charge of a podcast. What is wrong with you? Okay. I think that's a great note to end the gender topic discussion on. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, sir.
Ending with porn, the most misogynistic thing on the face of the planet. When we're trying to champion women's rights in gaming. Good job, partner. Well
porn
done.
in itself is not a bad thing.
High five.
High five.
Well done.
Yes. Well done.
We're not actually in the same room. We didn't high five just now.
No.
Although I want to see that one YouTube commenter. How did they do that?
Magic.
Excuse me. Taking a drink of... Oh, God. Taking a drink of water.
Taking a drink of, oh, God.
We all take a drink of, oh, God. He's inside all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, second main topic of conversation for this podcast is the Ubisoft Watch Dogs graphics controversy. Now, I doubt there's as much to say about this one, so this will probably be a very short topic of conversation. But, Ronja, what do you know about this?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Awesome. I will explain.
Fabulous.
So, recently, Watch Dogs came out, and no matter what you say about the game, on PC... Ubisoft had purposefully disabled certain graphics options available to the player.
Now I remember. Yes.
Oh, yes. And it took some would-be hacker to actually delve into the game files themselves to find out how to unlock them. And these graphics options were very clearly labeled E3 2013 or 2000, whenever Watch Dogs was first shown off to us at E3. And it looks so amazing. And then it comes out and it doesn't look as good. At all. So that's the controversy surrounding it. Your thoughts?
My thoughts. Well, oopsie daisy. Pretty
Oopsie
much.
daisy?
I mean, way to shoot yourself in the foot. Once again, what is this silliness? I mean, obviously they apparently were trying to not make the PC version overshadow the console version by being too good. So they locked away all the good graphics. And that's
probably a really good start into delving into why they did this.
Yeah, but
because we are super early in this generation of consoles. So it behooves developers, especially from a financial standpoint, getting subsidies from Microsoft and Sony to make their versions of the game as appealing as the PC versions of the game.
exactly. So they can sell and get sponsorships and stuff.
Yeah, but even back before the Xbox One and the PS4 were announced, PC still had miles better graphics and technology behind it than anything the consoles were showing up. Take Battlefield 4, for instance. Certain features of the game were completely locked off to consoles because they couldn't handle it. Or not Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3. That's the one I'm talking about. Okay. Battlefield 4 was completely good because that came out on the most recent consoles.
Right.
Yeah. So Battlefield 3, in PC you could play 64-player matches with the entire map completely opened. Consoles were truncated to 32 players. Now, granted, we were at the very tail end of the last console generation, so selling consoles wasn't as large of a priority as it is now.
Yeah, now it's like really important. And
yes. But still, if you have the rig to run those graphics on PC, you should be able to run them without diving into basically hacking the game to unlock those settings.
And now that they've been caught with the locked away graphics, it's just really transparent and sad, and their reputation will probably be tainted by this for a long time. This is Ubisoft again, isn't it?
This is Ubisoft
What
again.
is
Same
it
people
with-
who did the Assassin's Creed thing.
These people are just dumb, aren't they?
I don't know. I think they're making a bunch of rookie mistakes. And I think it's because they're finally crossing into, like, the super high-level AAA gaming realm.
Right.
Like, they had always kind of been riding that cusp for the longest time, but now that they start cutting out with Assassin's Creeds every year and they have 2 studios working on them, they're definitely, like, jumping up the ladder a little bit more and getting closer to, like, EA, Activision, that level of expertise. Or expertise is a very loose word in this case.
Right.
But they're kind of rising to their level, more or less. So I think it's more they don't know how to handle the big time. Or they're having a difficulty handling the big time, more or less. So that's Ubisoft. Woo!
Yay!
Yay!
It's not a very good start for them.
Far Cry 3 was good. I mean, they make decent games.
Yeah, of course
They just make kind of boneheaded business decisions every once in a while.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so that's really all there is to say about that one. Yeah. Potentially boneheaded choice that can be fixed if you hack the game if you have PC.
Yeah.
Also, Watch Dogs isn't really that good, so meh.
Meh. I wouldn't know. I have not played it, actually.
It didn't get that great reviews, actually. I've played only a little bit myself, and I was honestly underwhelmed.
Oh, okay.
I would rather go play like Grand Theft Auto or something like that.
Okay.
When it comes to open world games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, last topic of conversation, and this one I honestly don't know too much about because Chris kind of sprung it on me last minute. But apparently companies are at least starting to think about getting into the practice of paying top Let's Players on YouTubes. YouTubes? What am I, 60?
On the YouTubes. Let me go to the Googles.
Are you on the YouTubes watching the Pokemans?
Can you show me how to go to the Googles?
That's my 65-year-old self shitting himself.
Yes,
I guess.
exactly.
That's what that sound was. Anyway, so they're getting into the practice, or starting to get into the practice, of paying top Let's Players to play their games and potentially say good things about them, whether the game is good or not.
Yes. I heard about this.
So, ethics involved there. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't really see this as any different from any other kind of sponsorship because, YouTubers get sponsored all the time. And, they put in little product placements here and there, or they make reviews of items and stuff. And, a YouTuber has to make the choice themselves. And do I think this is good? Do I want to give this a positive review, whether I think it's good or not? I mean, I think...
Right. How tempting is the paycheck?
Yeah, and even so, this is nothing new, because the problem is there now as well, just not with Let's Plays.
Right, true. And I mean, I really think it's going to come down to individual regulation, like you said, to the Let's Players themselves. Because I think their audience is going to understand, like, if they play a game that is very obviously not as good as they say it is, audience members are probably going to pick up on the fact that, hey, they're saying good things about this game, even though it doesn't look that great. Are you being paid? Are you being paid to say these things? How much are they paying you? Have you done this with your other videos? Those questions are going to arise if the ethics of pay to Let's Play becomes a thing.
Yeah, and I mean, the watchers are not completely stupid. Most of the time, they can see what's going on the screen. If the game is complete shit, they will probably notice, and, you know...
Exactly.
At least I would hope so.
But this kind of reminds me of what happened, I think it was a couple years ago. It's back when the first Kane and Lynch game came out. There was this big controversy. GameStop had been promoting Kane and Lynch all over the place. Like, Eidos had been giving them a shit ton of money to promote this game pretty much everywhere on their site. And when the game actually came out, the review, it was a bad review because it's a bad game. But the reviewer of the game got fired soon afterwards.
That's bordering on censorship to me.
Exactly. So that kind of opened the floodgates, I guess, for... I mean, we as gamers, we may have had an idea that companies were paying people to say good things about their game, but that was the first time that we actually had our eyes open to the idea that maybe this is actually a reality. And that maybe not everything we hear from reviewers is on the level.
Yeah.
So I fear that level of incredibility is going to come to Let's Players.
It's possible, but...
Who, let's be honest, more often than not are 20-something-year-old kids. Yeah. Basically. They're not professional journalists.
No.
Who could potentially have their integrity ruined before they even remotely make it into the big time.
Exactly. But that's on them. I mean, this is not something that we can really do much
I mean,
about.
I guess you dig your own grave in that instance. If you take the money and, say whatever good thing you want about a game, devoid of how good the game actually is, then that's on you. You kind of dig your own grave in that regard. And I do believe that is it for the topic list.
Well, there's not much else to say about that, I think.
No, we pretty much covered it, I would say.
Good work.
I'm not good at ending things.
Me neither. Well, and thank you very much for listening.
Yes, dear listener.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in
if you're still
to
there.
This and other podcasts on the 3D NPC Podcast Network.
Yeah, you should go listen to the rest now.
Do you want to sing a song or something?
No.
Okay.
Because it's 2 a.m.
Oh yeah, it's really late there.
Yeah.
I guess I'll sing something.
Okay.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world.
Wow.
She took a midnight train going anywhere.
This is Viridian, and you're watching the 3D NPC Podcast Network. You may recognize my voice from my previous work, How to Subscribe to a Podcast. It's real easy. You just press a button. If you like the podcast, then congratulations, you have an excellent taste. Press the subscribe button to confirm. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you didn't, it's likely you just need to turn the volume higher. Click on any of the boxes to watch another video. Go on, don't be shy. I'll wait here while you click them. Every time someone subscribes, an angel gets their wings. But only the ones you like. Don't worry, there is a system in place. This channel has a very American theme, so why did they get a Polish guy to narrate? 2 words. Fun service. One lucky subscriber will get an autographed picture from me. The picture will be of Gabe Newell, but it will have my name on it. Did you hear about what happened to the last person who didn't subscribe? Nothing happened actually. But is that what she wants? Nothing? I bet she wants something to happen to you. And it will, if you press the button.